Just have a look at the umpire who has the honour of taking this match, Paul Alderson of Surrey. Well, now we're very pleased to welcome viewers in Australia from Abu Dhabi and Dubai, who have joined us by satellite for this wonderful final. And just before they start then, just to summarise, both champions once, both playing their fourth final, the first time they've ever actually met in the final, but they've actually met 26 times before in championships and tournaments, and Miss Evert has won 15 of them, but perhaps the most significant are the last two in Philadelphia when Mrs. Cawley won 6-3, 7-6, and about 2 weeks later the famous Virginia Slims final of that big circuit when Mrs. Cawley again won 2-1.
Miss Evert to serve.
And on this again blistering hot day, the girls perhaps glad for a little breeze. Not enough, I wouldn't think, to make too much difference to the ball control.
Play.
So Miss Evert to serve.
Love. 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 Forty 15. Forty 30.
Lovely length.
Game to Miss Evert. First game, first set.
And this final being watched by a very full royal box, and in the royal box we have their Royal Highnesses, the Duke and Duchess of Kent. The Duke, of course, is the president of the club. Her Royal Highness Princess Margaret is there, and Her Royal Highness Princess Alexandra, who has often enjoyed tennis on the courts here at Wimbledon. Very keen supporter of the game, like her mother, the former president. And I think I see at the back there, the big glasses, I think I see Jean Verota. But a very distinguished gallery for this final, this latest final, which the most famous of entrepreneurs would have designed if they'd had the opportunity. Two of the finest lady players in the world, without question. And what is going to be settled today is not merely the lady who is going to be the Wimbledon champion, but the lady who is going to be quite definitely recognized as the #1 player in the world. So Mrs. Cawley serving underneath the roll box.
Love 15. Love 30. Love 40.
Dan, wouldn't you know, Miss Evert, full of surprises. She's really booming those returns, and she's going to attack more than usual.
Game, Miss Evert. Miss Evert leads 2 games to love, first set.
So in the first 2 games, Mrs. Cawley only winning 2 points.
Love 15.
And the error being forced there on the 25th stroke of that rally.
Love 30. Love 40.
Not only a lovely movement to look at, but a strong movement. Love 40.
Fifteen 40. Thirty 40. Game to Mrs. Cawley. Miss Evert leads 2 games to 1, first set.
Really a fine game played by both girls. We saw a little more of what I think is going to be the pattern, with Evonne being patient in the backcourt but hitting with great depth. And let's go back into that game and with our nice low camera angle show you some outstanding agility by Miss Evert. You see, she's into the net. Nice passing shot. One down the middle, miss-hit. Evonne gets to it, and watch this lunge. And that's the way you see the agility of the fellows, and we saw it with Chris Evert there. But Chris Evert really surprising me with the strength and purpose of her tactics. And what she's decided is the last 2 times that they played in Philadelphia and Los Angeles, she was too dependent upon steadiness to win. And Evonne, in a very good mood, competing mood, concentrating mood, just kept the ball in play. And as you notice, when she gets something short, she hits with underspin. And on grass, that keeps the ball awfully low. And frankly, Chrissy's not going to be able to get the ball past her. So Chrissy has made up her mind. She'll be more aggressive on the return of serve. And when she gets anything close to the service line, I think you'll find her up at the net. And that appears to me to be a very, very smart way to play Evonne. 1-2, Mrs. Cawley to serve.
Love. Love. Love.
Oh, that's a glorious stroke.
40-15.
I really don't think she's had a better two-hander than that throughout the championship.
Game to Mrs. Cawley. Two games all, first set.
So things are soon level, each having broken the other's service once.
Love.
Ball on Mrs. Cawley's forehand, stayed rather low there. Didn't quite get up to its normal bounce on the centre court here.
Love. Love.
And I'm sure you saw that ball float away. It was sliced rather more, I think, than Mrs. Cawley intended, and the wind got hold of it and just floated it, what, just over a foot out.
$40-15. First service. Game to Miss Evert. Miss Evert leads by 3 games to 2, first set.
Looking at Miss Evert at the moment, it seems to me that she's not attacking her forehand quite so vigorously and unnecessarily as she did in her last match, when she made quite a lot of forehand errors against Miss Navratilova. It looks as though she's back to her normal sort of strength of forehand.
Well, I think, Dan, that people that play tennis naturally retreat, you know, to the place where they feel safe. And Chrissy, when she really tries to belt the ball, as we would say, will make more errors. I think as part of her game plan, that she feels that if she can strike the first ball, particularly on the returner serve, she's more apt to be in control of the rally from there on. But she's smart enough to know that if she starts making errors, she'll go back to temporize just slightly and hope to get a good one on her two-hander and then get Mrs. Cawley running. But what a difference between these two girls' temperament. Chrissy, of course, is so intense and concentrates practically on every point. And you saw Mrs. Cawley in that 5th game be lots different than she was in the 3rd and 4th games that she won. She started to flirt a little bit too close to the lines, and generally she played a loose game to lose it at love. And so her problem has always been to really concentrate and bear down on each and every point, and then she usually wins the games. So 2 games to 3, they're on serve, 1 service break apiece. Evonne to serve now.
Love 15. All. $15-30.
Second double by Evonne, and of course Chris was starting to close in on that one.
Well,
one would have expected Mrs. Cawley to have capitalized on that lucky net cord off the backhand, but that was rather a weak volley. 15-40.
$30-40.
Dan, the wind's coming away from the royal box end, and I think that Evonne, without the spin on her serves, a little insecure. She served 2 doubles from this side.
Advantage, Miss Evert.
Wonderful forehand cross pass off a low ball too. Wonderful angle. Out.
Game to Miss Evert. Miss Evert leads 4 games to 2.
And Mrs. Cawley had a chance then when she pulled back from 15-40 to deuce. 4-2, Miss Evert serving.
Love 15. All.
Certainly wasn't meant to be a drop shot. It was meant to draw Miss Evert forward. Yes, on the line.
30-15.
Too near to be comfortable, of course. Crowd calling out. Obviously supporters, I imagine, of Mrs. Cawley. No question about it being right. 30-15.
$40-15.
And a really low trajectory pass there on the forehand of Mrs. Cawley's, just skimming the top of the net. That's a great volley.
Game to Miss Evert. New balls, please. Miss Evert leads 5 games to 2, first set.
So 3 games in a row for the number 1 seed, Miss Evert, to take it to 5-2, and a very, very fine example of how much her volleying is improved. That last two-handed volley right deep into the line.
Dan, you know, Miss Evert is really surprising me because she is rewriting the script, and she is coming in, and she's coming in on such good depth, Dan, that she's going to get a lot of high volleys. And of course her father, Jimmy, who's was a very, very fine player in his own right, went to Notre Dame University, played top junior tennis, intercollegiate tennis, and for a while he was on the men's circuit. And I think from time to time during the winter, since she was a youngster, he tried to get her a little more interested in using that great depth, which gets a lot of short balls, to come in and learn to take care of the easy floaters that would come her way, and perhaps learn to smash a little better, and she would have the complete game. But I think although she practices a lot that way, when she normally gets into competition, she goes back into that defense that has always been the great winner for her. And I think, like Bjorn Borg, she has never lost anybody younger than herself, which I believe that's correct. I hope it is. And it's always been on the defense. But like a great general sometimes has to change tactics in a battle, she's done so far. So now it's up to Evonne Goolagong, who has been trying to play patiently, keeping the ball in play, hoping to get to the net. I feel that she'll have to, as she serves with new balls, perhaps attack on anything rather than wait so long. 2-5 down, Mrs. Cawley to serve.
Love.
Good service.
30 love.
Rather faster than any she's delivered so far, and certainly as accurate as it could be. 30 love.
Love.
That's a great stroke.
Game to Mrs. Cawley. Miss Evert leads 5 games to 3.
And earlier, that same stroke that she tried, she just oversliced it and the wind got it and it went about a foot out. That was absolutely perfect. Judged to absolute perfection. Serving for the first set, Chris Evert, 5-3.
Love.
Just out on the 24th stroke of the rally, and both girls at one time thinking the wind just carried their shot just a little too far out. Remarkable rally, that. 15 love.
All.
Oh, it's a perfect running pass on the forehand.
30-15.
Superb timing on that running forehand pass. 5-3, 30-15. So that forehand approach shot into the net gives Chris Evert 2 set points. And that is a most unexpected thing to see Chris Evert on a set point play a really badly timed two-hander into the net like that. Still set point.
Game and first set to Miss Evert.
And I'll tell you, the serve was out by 3 to 4 inches, Dan. Anybody that was near that line would agree to that. And then the ball on the baseline, the linesman waved, Dan. And then he changed his decision by pulling his hand back. So it's first set to Chris Evert. And you can tell that feeling is running rather high here for both young ladies who are playing so beautifully. That set took approximately 30 minutes, Dan. And let's take a look at one of the very, very vital points of that game. It was the opening point, and we're in the middle of it as we see Evonne having to lob off of a deep approach shot. Chrissy doesn't smash too deep. Evonne's got it back deep, and now Chrissy hits one straight down the middle, and in comes Evonne. She thought it was going out. The wind kept it in. Look at the mobility of Evonne as she got to that ball, and up comes Chrissy, lucky to get up there, plays it down the line, and another lob. And Chrissy